Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Yaz, and today I just wanted to do a special video on what's trending in the news right now. And it is late Friday evening. I have my wine, got my candle burning. But before I start, I wanted to say thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. And again, if you are new, thank you for stopping by. Come join the family. Now, let's get into it. It's just going to be a quick chit chat, I think. So, as everybody probably in the world has found out by now, that Jada Pinkett Smith, who is the wife of Will Smith, brought herself to the red table on her show, Red Table Talk, to discuss the situation going on with August Alsina, who is a singer. So I've been looking at some videos and, doing a little background, research and, trying to see, because they said, this information has been out there for a while. He alluded to it and, a couple of years back. And, the only reason why he's, he put it out there or announced it was because he was releasing his new album. I guess, given the state of what's going on in the world today, the coronavirus, got to make them coins somehow. But I guess the true conversation that needed to be had was, owning up to what the truth was. So, it's been reported in the news. So, once August Alsina, announced it to, excuse me, to everybody in the world, that was his right. That was his truth. He was a part of it. It was him and, supposedly Jada. So, he, did have the right to, to speak on it. But, unless him and Jada had some kind of, secret document that said, he wasn't supposed to say nothing, then, I guess he was free to, speak on it. So, he did August Alsina did an interview with Angela Yee, who is, a radio, she's a host of, a host at a radio station in New York. And she interviewed him about, I guess, that information, his album. I guess he did like a documentary and, all of those kind of things. But they sat down for at least an hour and a half, I believe. Now, I've heard of August Alsina. Now, I remember, like, when he first kind of came out, he was popping for a minute. His name was out there in the entertainment world. And then I remember that he had got sick, like something would happen to him where he got really sick and was like hospitalized and all of that kind of stuff. And then I kind of really never heard, too much about him after that. But, in the interview with Angela Yee, he said that, I guess he met them through, so he met Will and Jada through their son Jaden Smith, who, I guess he's also, I guess, like in entertainment, he's done movies and everything. And if y'all don't know who Jaden Smith is, he was in the Karate Kid. They did another version of the Karate Kid when he was younger, so he was in that. And, now he's pretty much an adult and, doing his own thing. I've been hearing good things about Jaden. So, so that's that. So, and I guess, things got, turned, a different way He did it. August Alsina did admit to Angela Yee that I guess when he met the Smith family, that he was like really down, really hurt, and he was dealing with his like battle with drugs, and I'm sure he probably was still sick at that time, and all of that kind of stuff. So when he met them, and then if you've seen a few of those table talks with Jada, how she does a lot of I'm gonna use this phrase that I've picked up from somebody else, is like she talks around the rainbow. Like she really, she may have points to her responses, but the way she goes about it is just a little like out there for me. But eventually I can understand what she's talking about. But so I'm sure a lot of that was going on, and then Jada admitted that it became something else. So I guess her and Will Smith, they said on the Red Table Talk this evening that they were separated when when it became something else between her and August Alsina. And August Alsina said he then went to Will Smith, and Will then gave him the blessing to go ahead and be with Jada. So I just thinking about it, everybody pretty much has speculated or has been saying for a long time that Will and Jada have an open marriage. They're swingers, or they date other people, and at this table talk episode, they kind of danced around it, but the hints were there. I've seen clips where Jada has said with Will Smith there, in person, saying that he could be at one end of the house and she could be at the other end of the house with different people, but they know that at the end of the day, is this gonna be Jada and Will. Now, it ain't none of my business, and it ain't nobody else's business either. But if that's how they want to roll, that's how they want to roll. But looking at the episode today, Will Smith looked like he was about hurt. As I don't know what, I saw a post on Facebook saying that Will Smith looked like, if you've ever seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that episode where Will's father came into town, and then Uncle Phil had to tell him that his father had ran off without him and left him there. He wasn't, he was still the same old, bum, and really, didn't care about him. And that whole episode where Will Smith, he was hurt. That was real feeling. Like when I saw that episode, I was crying. And like he had that kind of hurt look on his face. And who knows, they Jada and Will said they dealt with this like a few years ago. So this is not, the whole relationship or whatever was not something that was new. So they they dealt with it and then moved on. But the way, like I said, the way Will Smith looked, like he just finding out or that maybe it was more recent than they saying it is. But I don't know. So but all I know is the way he looked, and I give it up to Will. He definitely did make Jada admit that that this you was in a relationship with this boy, and because he was young, and she's a little older, but he's of consenting age, so he's he's an adult but just young. And Jada, she tried to skate around it by saying she was in an entanglement. That's the word she used, y'all. So that's all over the internet right now. Entanglement. And Will Smith was like, nah, boo. Or what? You was in a whole relationship with that boy. And so he made her really acknowledge that and admit that. So she did. And I'm was wondering how the kid, like I posted in a lot of different, in a lot of different people's pages, like, hey, it is what it is, but I'm wondering how the kids feel about this. Like, how does Jaden feel about this? I mean, he brought, this was his friend. Are they still friends? Like, what? And the way, if you seen that, and if you haven't seen that Angela Yee interview, you need to go watch that on Facebook. I mean, not on Facebook, on YouTube. And the way he was just talking about her, and like it, describing how, the ending of it, I guess the ending of the relationship was just so devastating to him. Like, he was shaking. He couldn't. I was like, yeah, you don't talk like that if it's, if it wasn't just, if it wasn't more than it was. And since he did admit that he knew them for a lot of years, and they helped him, I guess, handle his, the demons that he was fighting. But it's going to be real interesting in these days to come, and I think people are really going to start looking at marriage, the sanctity of marriage in a different light now, because this is just one aspect that a certain number of people choose to go down with, having an open marriage. And I don't think that they will outright admit it. I don't think Will and Jada will outright admit that they are in an open, that they had an open marriage, but they really, they allude to it in a lot of different ways, and it's just, it just don't make no sense. Like, if you want to date other people, then just get divorced. Like, it just makes more sense to just go get divorced. That way you can be free and go and be with whoever you want to be with. Your kids is grown. They're young adults. They doing well for themselves. Like, you don't have to stay together for the kids. So, but I think it is, like I said, I think it might be a little more to the story than, what has come out so far. And I hope that, that August Alsina, he gets the closure that he needs and wants and is looking for. And because I don't think, the way, when I was looking at Jada, I was just like, look, first off, she don't care how Will Smith is feeling. Like, she looked fine on there, but he looking at a whole, like he been crying, and he just been like really affected by it. And she looked like it didn't faze her not one bit. But that's just my opinion. But who knows how she could have been feeling when everything was going down. But yeah, so I just want to come on here and just do like a quick little, just like, video on this. And what do you guys think? Like, I mean, could you be involved, in an open, with someone who is in an open marriage? If they said, yeah, me and my husband is separated, but it's cool with him if I go date, other people, we trying to figure it out, kind of thing. Like, could you put yourself in that kind of situation? Have you ever been in that kind of situation? Like, knowingly went into something like that? Because I'm sure these people, who have had interactions with the Smith family, and I'm sure Will Smith has had his share of people as well, which Jada alluded to in the table talk today. So, because Will Smith was like, look, he was like, I gotta get you back on this. Like, he was looking for revenge. And he definitely looked like he wanted to punch her in the face when she said entanglement. But yeah, so I hope, I wish them the best, and I hope that they really are able to work it out. And I hope that August Alsina feels better or gets what he's looking for, some kind of closure, because a lot of people jumped on him about his reasoning for saying something now, but only he knows his reason for saying something about it now. But it was, once he said it, you can't take it back. And it's it just didn't affect just him. It's a whole other family, their kids, marriage, just like he said it affected his livelihood. It will affect their livelihood, because people look at Will Smith like this big action movie star, and Jada, she's a movie star too, and and then it's just like, like, what are y'all doing? So it's it got a little sloppy. Y'all let that slip out there for a minute. But like I said, I hope everything works out. For everybody involved, and everybody heals the way they need to be. And until next time, let's keep our ear to the ground and see, let's see what happens with the Smiths and the Alcinas. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.